Hello, I'm Debbie from Create Pretty Things. Welcome to my page. Tonight we are going to be doing a cute little directional sign to help Santa and his elves find their way on Christmas Eve. So this is a surface that I found at Michael's a while ago. And last night I went ahead and I painted it with acrylic paint. I want it to be nice and dry for you guys today so we can go ahead and proceed and you wouldn't have to watch paint dry. So this is a sign that we are going to put directional verbiage on, and I think you'll enjoy it. So as you hop on, please say hello, tell me where you're from, hit the heart button. If you see the red box up above that says live, you're watching me live. If you don't see it, you're watching the replay. In that case, please comment hashtag replay so that I know that you watched. So here's our signs that we're going to put on. And it says Christmas Lane, Snowman Street, Reindeer Road, Candy Cane Lane. And then it has this frame to go around them if you wish, and a little bit of snow to cap it off with. And some of these, the words will fit on the board, on the planks that I have, but this will not, the frame. So we're not going to use the frame, but we may use the snow. The only color we're going to use for paste tonight is bright white. It's a brand new jar, and I'm happy to have it. So what we're gonna, and then since there are 5 planks on this sign, I also have some here that say merry and bright, have yourself a merry little Christmas, oh what fun, and fa la 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 la. So I thought that I would put oh what fun on one of these. So this is a separate transfer, and I'm not sure if I put it in the cart link or not. But if you do want to go ahead and purchase this, any supplies to go and make your own sign, comment the word sign, S-I-G-N, in the comments. Check your messenger for a reply and you'll get a link to the products that I used. Now, since this is freshly painted, I just painted it last night, we want to use surface wax on it to make sure that when we put our sticky transfers on there, that they don't pull up that layer of fresh paint that's underneath. So mine's almost at the bottom. I'm going to use my applicator and I am just going to go ahead and apply a light coating to any place where I am going to add chalk paste. Wherever my transfer is going to be applied and the sticky will come in contact with the surface is where I'm going to apply this surface wax. Now you just want a thin coat. You don't need a whole lot. And we are going to kind of do a wax on, wax off on it. So notice how I have a lot on this part right now. See how you can see it right here? I'm going to go ahead and make sure I smooth that out. You don't want it that thick. You just want a really, really thin layer. If you have it on too thick, chances are that your paste is not going to stick down there very well. So just a light coat. And once again, the purpose is to prevent your transfer from peeling up that fresh layer of paint that you just put on there, okay? So we're gonna do all 5 of these boards. And since I am at the bottom of my wax, I feel like it's a little thicker than it should be. But I'm just gonna go ahead and work to get that buffed out. And we'll be ready to begin. How are you guys doing tonight? What's new? It's a Sunday, right? Sometimes my days get all mixed up anymore since I've settled into retirement. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You know, you don't normally have to worry about Mondays anymore. But you're excited by each and every day because you get to choose what you do with your time. Retirement's lovely, guys. It's very lovely. Okay, once again, I've got a lot on here, and I am going to buff that off. Let me put my wax away. I'm actually going to get a paper towel, I think, to buff some of this off. And if you feel like it's really thick and not moving, you can also warm it up a little bit with a heat tool, just to heat your wax up a little bit, and it will probably smooth on a little bit easier for you, a little evenly. This one's still a little thick, this one's thick. So you're doing a wax on, wax off. You're gonna try and buff this out so that it has like a little sheen to it. And you don't want any lumps of wax. And this usually goes on pretty good, guys, but like I said, it's the very bottom of my jar. Like this one has the most wax on it still. This one has some built up right here. Okay. All right, let's get started on our signs. So maybe we'll do them the order that they have: Christmas, Lane, reindeer, candy cane. What should we put on the biggest one? Oh, what fun. Maybe we could frame the biggest one to be Candy Cane Lane. So let's just go ahead and get started. So these are our transfers. They are reusable. They are sticky on the back, and you can reuse these between 8 and 12 times just by cleaning them properly after use, getting all the paste out of the silkscreen transfer, and letting them dry before you put them away. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these along the little lines. You see the lines that are drawn on there? They show you where to separate them. And I'm just going to cut these apart. It'll make them easier to work with. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do my biggest one first, just to kind of, let's see, we'll do that as Christmas Lane, okay? So what I'm going to do, there's a backer that these reside on. I'm going to go ahead and peel up my transfer, my stencil from the backer. Notice that the back of it's yellow. When you reattach this to store it, you want to make sure the sticky side of your transfer is going to the white. I'm going to peel it off, keep my backer, and I'm going to do what's called fuzzing. Now, fuzzing is a way to reduce that stickiness just a little bit so that it doesn't pull up your freshly painted surface, and it doesn't stretch your transfer as you peel it off, because these are reusable and we want to protect them as we go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this one down first. Just center it on my surface. And then I'm going to smooth it down. And I do want to make sure that my Christmas is going to fit in there, and it should. Let me see. Christmas Lane. Yes, it will. Okay, so the reason I'm smoothing it down is to make sure that there's no bleeding. You don't want any air bubbles in there, so you want to smooth it down really good. I'm going to get my reusable squeegee, dip it in the paste, and I am just going to apply it right over that silkscreen area. The silkscreen area is the meshy area that you can see through, and that is where your paste is going to go through, and it's going to go down to the surface below by going through the mesh. And then you're going to be able to have that transfer, that design, stay on your surface below. But in order to do that, you have to peel up your transfer while the paste is still wet. Okay, so I've got it down pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and go over it one time and pick up any excess paste that I have, and I'm going to put it back in my jar. Now, picking up the extra paste smooths it out so that it's a nice smooth finish, but it also reduces the thickness of the paste, so it dries a little quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. Remember I said you want to peel it off while it's wet. So here we go. I'm going to peel it off sideways, and you guys can watch me. I'm going to go slowly, because if there is any problem with where I chalked, if I need to repair anything, now's the time to do it. And I can do it just perfect. It looks like it came out just great. This is the only, oops, I just got some white on my red here. Let me get that off. This is probably the only time we're going to use this frame. because the rest of my boards are too thin. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this right now. And I'm going to show you how. I've got just this little dish drying mat. I'm going to spray it while it's still freshly wet. I'm going to take a paper towel, remove that top layer of paste, and then I'm going to take what's called my board eraser. I did put a board eraser in the cart link for you. You can change that cart up to make, if you have board erasers already, take them out. If you don't want to purchase them, take them out. If you want to change the color paste to maybe something shimmery, or maybe you painted your sign white and you want it to be red and green, change it up. Make it what you want to be. Make sure you do both sides. I'm going to rinse out my sponge and wipe down this other side. Get all that paste out of there. These are reusable, but you don't want that paste to dry in there. You want to put them away when they're clean so that they're ready for the next use. When I feel like I've got all the paste out of there, I'm going to go ahead and dry it with a paper towel. And I'm going to put it back on the transfer backer. And you can see through that silk screen again. There's nothing in there. So that's clean and ready to go. I will let that sit there and air dry a little bit before I put it away in its plastic sleeve. Okay, we've got that frame done. Let's go ahead. That's going to be Christmas Lane. But what we can do right now is we can go ahead and put Reindeer Road on the top. Peel it off. Fuzz your transfer. If you don't have one of those magical fuzz cloths, you don't need it. Use your shirt, use your jeans, use any towel you have. Center it. Smooth it down so there's not any air bubbles. Get your chalk paste on your squeegee and just smooth it over. It does not take a whole lot of paste. And most of the time, you can move excess paste from one area of your transfer to another one. Just make sure that you're not getting the white paste outside of that transfer to get it on your sign, your painted part of the sign. Now, I'm famous for neglecting the tops, the bottoms, the lefts, and the right margins of my transfers. So I made a distinct effort to make sure I get that. And I'm also a little messy. I'm going to peel this off. And I want to do it so you guys can see it. Because I'm looking to see if I missed anything. And it looks awesome, guys. Awesome. I like to clean my transfers as I go, because that paste will still be wet and I get the mess cleaned up right away. So while before I did the cleaning on a dish mat, this time I'm going to do it directly on my silicone mat, because I feel like that sign is so big it's kind of hard to work with everything. I don't have enough room. So I'm going to get my board eraser, which is wet, clean that up. Clean both sides. You don't want your transfer to get stuck to itself. You want to be careful with it. I'm going to dry it. I'm going to put it back, sticky side to sticky side to white side of my transfer. There it is. All clean, good to go. Okay. Now, what I want to do is go ahead and dry what I have. I have my heat tool right over here. I'm going to go ahead and dry it because I am famous for messing things up. So I'm going to dry what I have. This tool doesn't get really, really hot. It just kind of it blows warm air. Okay, so we said that Christmas was going to go right here in the middle. Now, I am concerned because some of this sticky might just go over my freshly painted white. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and wax just the edges of this. Put on a little wax right here and right here because that's where my transfer is going to go. Okay, so I want to protect that paste from pulling up. So here's my Christmas lane. I'm going to peel it up. I'm going to fuzz it on my shirt. You can do this 2 or 3 times. This one doesn't feel real sticky. I'm going to go ahead and center it right in this frame. Make sure there's not any air bubbles where the silk screen is. Get my white chalk paste, and this is so easy because I'm only using one color, just the white chalk paste tonight. So this is going to make it go really quick. It's nothing fancy. I did all the fancy hard work last night when I painted this, the red and the green. But that also gave it time to dry. So I'm not going to worry about pulling my paste off accidentally because I did give it time to dry. I am waxing it. And I'm really being careful to cover all of those letters. Now that I've got them covered, I'm going to go ahead and go over it, scrape off any excess. And as you scrape off the excess, you will be able to see your design better. Okay, I'm going to put that back in the jar. So I know that down here is where my transfer ended. And I do have some white right there, but I think I missed it. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. Great, it looks wonderful so far. It's doing great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this. Get all that paste out. Sometimes I go up, down, all around just to get all the corners where the paste could hide. And actually this white, it's a brand new jar of white and it's cleaning up really easily. Sometimes you'll get a color like black or red that's highly pigmented and they are harder to clean, or the shimmers have a little bit of shimmer that tends to stick around, but this is cleaning up really easily. I'm going to go ahead and dry it, and I think I'll just use my fuzzing towel to dry it instead of wasting all those paper towels. Okay, and I'm going to put it back on my backer. So white side up, sticky side on the white side. Apply it so that everything, the sticky side has coverage, connection to the back. And let it air dry till you're ready to put it away. Okay, what is next? Candy cane lane? We could do a candy cane lane. Or should we do, let's do our fa la 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 la. Now this is part of the different transfer. This board that I bought had 5 spaces. The transfer that I was using only had 4. So I'm going to use part of this other transfer to put in the middle. So it just says fa la 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 la. Buzz it. Let's see if it's gonna fit. Okay, that's not gonna fit. Okay, let's see if anything else is better. Let's try, oh, what fun, I think we originally said. Let's see if that'll fit. We improvise, guys, when things don't go like we thought they would. Improvise. This is your craft, your project. You make it into whatever you want. Make it work for you, and you'll be happy with the results. Let's see if this will fit. Yes, this one will fit perfect. Okay, let's get our paste. I love the script font on this one. I think it's so pretty. See how quick and easy this is going, guys? Very quick and easy. Love it. Let me show you. Oh, what fun. And this cleanup, it's just cleaning up really nice tonight. This board eraser makes cleanup really easily. Sometimes I've had a hard time cleaning up some of the older pastes, but with these new transfers and the board eraser, it's easy, easy. I make so much less mess. Put it back on my white side of my transfer. And this one I can kind of see an imprint on the words, so it helped me put it the right way. Not that it really matters, but okay, that one's done. 2 more to go. What do you guys think so far? If you love it, give it a heart. I think it's great. Now, I chose a traditional red and green to paint the background, and I used acrylic paint. You don't have to. You choose whatever colors. I thought that the eucalyptus was really pretty, and you can use the paste if you want to paint with. I chose acrylic. I just kind of felt like traditional colors. I wanted them bold and vibrant, and I kind of wanted a little bit of sheen to it. So that's why I chose the acrylic for this one. I do have a little bump in the transfer right there. I hope it doesn't cause bleeding. You do want your wood to be really smooth. So this, I didn't have to sand this or anything, but if you have something that's really rough, you do want to sand it before you go ahead and start pasting. Else it will cause your paste to bleed and it'll be messy. It won't be as crisp lines. So make sure your wood is nice and smooth. Once again, I want to focus on the tops and bottoms, lefts and rights of my words. It looks good. I'm going to go ahead and lift it off. Awesome. 1 more to go, guys. So I saw someone do this actually today, another person. They did theirs today, and they used the paste and they used eucalyptus. Turned out really pretty too. Now, they had a base built into theirs so that it could stand like inside the house. Mine doesn't have a base. There's a couple things that you can do. I know my mom had one similar to this from many, many years ago, and it was standing in a coffee can filled with concrete. So the concrete was hard and it always supported it. That's one thing you could do. I don't have any coffee cans though. Another thing is I could put this outside and just put it directly in the ground. Now, if I'm gonna do that, the chalk is a semi-permanent finish. It will, if it gets scraped, if it gets wet and scraped, it will come off. So if I were to put it outside, I would definitely make sure that I spray it with a sealant to make sure that it has a permanent protection from the elements outside. So if I were to put this outside, that's what I would do. Otherwise, perhaps you have a handy husband that can make you a beautiful base to put stick it on. There's other options too, but I think I'm probably going to end up just putting it outdoors. I'm going to spray it with a sealant. Maybe under my porch. So maybe in a pot, maybe in a potted plant. One thing that's nice about this is the thickness of the transfers is completely covering my board. So I know that I'm not going to make a mess with some of this paste over the sides, which I've done before. So that's a bonus. And like I said, I always miss my tops, my bottoms, my lefts, my rights, all my margins. So I am making sure that I get those covered. It's just one of my bad habits to miss those. Okay, this is my last of my paste. I'm going to wipe it off into my jar so I don't waste. I'm going to put my dirty squeegee in my water bath, which has my board eraser in it. Peel this up. Let you guys see it. Da 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 da. Go ahead and spray this down. So we've learned that we've pre-painted this. We used one color. We just used the white. And one of these had a frame, but the rest of my boards weren't big enough to allow that. But I think it turns out really, really cute. What do you guys think? Would you try this? What colors would you use? I love it. I hope you loved it too. If you have anyone who would like to see this, please feel free to share the video. Please comment SIGN, S-I-G-N, to get the supply list. Please subscribe to my video, my page. Hit exclamation point notify to receive notifications of when I'm on live again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys loved it. I do. Bye.